Hello everyone. I will start our new session, headless OS installation. So this is new concept. In last video we had seen traditional installation method. So this is headless OS installation, and this is very useful for the students for making their projects, using their projects. So what is headless anyway? So a computer setup without monitor, without keyboard, without mouse is said to be running headless. How you can operate Raspberry Pi using without monitor, without keyboard, without mouse? So for that, headless installation is used. So in headless installation is required for projects or to reduce the power. Sometimes we don't require monitor, we don't require keyboard, we don't require mouse. So at that time you can use headless system. For example, I want to make robotic car using Raspberry Pi. So at that time car is moving, so you cannot mount monitor, keyboard, mouse on that car. So we just want a Raspberry Pi, memory card and power supply. So power supply you can use power bank, memory card is attached to a memory card slot, and Raspberry Pi is standalone. So you can use headless system for that system, for that robotic car. So in this session we will see headless OS installation and headless use. So when you use traditional method, we require Raspberry Pi, monitor, HDMI cable or HDMI to VGA cable, USB cable, USB mouse, power supply and memory card. But if you have only Raspberry Pi adapter and memory card, then how to operate? So for that, headless OS is used. Headless OS installation is used. So in this presentation we will see how to use headless OS installation. So before starting we have to program SD card with an operating system. So first download OS zip file from raspberrypi.org/downloads. Then take your SD card or micro SD card reader and plug it into your computer. It is same as traditional method. Now next process. This is very important. Next is download Etcher software. So Etcher software you have to download. This software is very important for headless OS installation. So it is required only for installation. So run the downloaded app, install it. After installation you will get this window. After run you will get this window. Now eject any devices so that it will only operate the SD card. Run the Etcher program. This is my Etcher program. So in this, if you observe, first select image, second select drive, and third flash image. So I will explain this software first. Etcher software is very useful. It does three functions. Its first function is format the SD card. Second function, copy the OS software, and third, install that software. So in traditional method we are using first memory card, you are formatting memory card. Second step, we are copying the content of OS into memory card. Then you are connecting memory card to Raspberry Pi. Then you will start the system and it will take it will start OS installation. That OS installation will take minimum 20 minutes. All these three functions, format the SD card, load the image software and install the OS, all these three functions are done by single software, Etcher. So no need to connect memory card to Raspberry Pi for OS installation. So this software is very important. It is freely available on internet. Right now it is Banana Etcher. So I am saying Etcher software. So open this software. First step, select image which already we have downloaded. Then select your memory card, SD card, and then you have to click on flash. So select the OS image. So OS image already we have downloaded. It may be zip file, .zip or .gz. So you can take any file. Then you have to click on, after selecting proper SD card, you have to click on flash. So first select image, then select drive, then select flash. So when you click on flash, it will start first formatting, then copying the files, and then installation. So this installation will take less minutes than a traditional method, and after it indicates flash complete. So this will take maximum 5 to 10 minutes. So within 5 to 10 minutes all operation like format the memory card, second load copy the content, and third install the OS is done. Now if you want to do for multiple memory cards and you want to fast the operation, so for that you have to disable the validate function. So if for faster writes you have to disable this validate function. So now your memory card is ready with OS. Your memory card is ready with OS. So remove the SD card after each flash operation, and again insert your SD card into your laptop or computer, and then open the SD card. When you open the SD card, it indicates labeled boot. So the memory card name is boot, and all the installed files are there. Now the most important part starts here. In this memory card you have to write one setup file. That setup file is used to connect your Raspberry Pi to Wi-Fi. So before inserting memory card into Raspberry Pi, you have to write one configuration file. In that file you have to write your Wi-Fi name and password, so that when you connect that memory card into Raspberry Pi, automatically Wi-Fi will be connected and you can use this remotely. Without internet connection you cannot use this. Without Wi-Fi connection you cannot use headless Raspberry Pi. So boot will appear, boot is labeled. Then within the boot, right click on new text document and name it as WPA supplicant.config. So WPA, it is Wi-Fi configuration file. In that file you have to write one code. Make sure that the change of the file, we are making text document, so its extension is .txt. So you have to convert that .txt to .config. So change the file extension from .txt to .config. When you do that, it will ask the confirmation whether you have to confirm, so you have to click on yes. So if you change, you have to click on yes. So WPA supplicant.config. So this is text file and you have to convert the text file into config file. How to convert text file into config file? Just right click on the file, change the extension .txt to .config. So my blank WPA supplicant file is there, configuration file is there. This is a blank file, nothing is written into this. Now we have to write the code into this. So this is empty file, right click on this and open. Now its extension is configuration. So when you try to open it, it will ask which software is used to open. So select txt editor, notepad. So just select notepad. So it will open in notepad and you have to write this code. This is configuration code. In this code you have to change only this my Wi-Fi network name and my Wi-Fi password. Here you have to write down your Wi-Fi name. If I am using mobile hotspot, I can write SK and I can write password. So you have to write down only this code. You have to copy these contents into that text file. So it looks like this. So this is WPA_supplicant.config file, and in that file these are the content. Here you have to write down your SSID and here you have to write down the password. Then your Wi-Fi setting is done. So once it is enabled, your Raspberry Pi will directly connect it to Wi-Fi without giving any extra credential. Now I want to operate this remotely, and for that you have to enable SSH. So SSH, to enable the SSH procedure, by default it is disabled, so I have to enable this. So how to enable this? And for that you have to make one blank file. So create an empty file in same directory called SSH. The file name is SSH. It doesn't have extension. So you have to remove the .txt extension. So if you observe the files are like this: wpsapplicant.config, so this is config file, and ssh, it doesn't have extension, so ssh doesn't have extension. Just by writing ssh, then you can use this ssh. It is used to connect Raspberry Pi using Putty software. So in next slides we are going to see Putty software. So ssh and wpa, these two files are very important for headless OS installation. So create these two files, your memory card is ready for OS. Now we are going to connect this. So put the memory card back to Raspberry Pi and turn on the Raspberry Pi. Now we are connected only power supply, Raspberry Pi and memory card. So just connect power supply to this. We have only Raspberry Pi, memory card, and just connect power supply. Don't connect keyboard, mouse and monitor. Now next, check for the connected devices in your Wi-Fi router. So you have to find out the IP address of Raspberry Pi, and for that you can check your device name. So for checking IP address, there are different softwares. So you can use IPI scanner also and note down the IP address. IP address is very important. IP address is very important. All operation, all connections are done through IP address. So this is one software, advanced IP scanner. This software is used in computer to scan the IP address. So if you observe here, Raspberry Pi Foundation, so IP address is 192.168.0.102. so this is my IP address, 192.168.0.102, and this is my MAC address. I have to note down this IP address, 192.168.0.102. this is very important. Then software used to check connected devices and finding IP address. So you can find out the IP address from computer or mobile. So if you are using computer, you can use advanced IP scanner software. It is freely available on internet. Or for mobile app, you can use WoW Wi-Fi. WoW, WoW Wi-Fi, and Fing. So these are used to find out the IP address. This is for computer, advanced IP scanner, and this is for mobile, WoW Wi-Fi or Fing. Then wireless connect to Raspberry Pi. Now I am going to connect this Raspberry Pi to my laptop. This is wireless connection. So software used are Putty and VNC. Putty is software used to connect Raspberry Pi in command mode, and VNC is software used to Raspberry Pi in GUI, graphical user interface mode. So Putty is in command mode and VNC is in GUI mode. So we'll see these two softwares. So first software is Putty. So this is my Putty software, and here I have to write down my IP address or Raspberry Pi name. So open the computer and open Putty software. Here you have to write down Raspberry Pi and you have to enable SSH. Just click on open. So when you click on open, it will show warning. So just click on yes. So it is giving only security reason. Then click on S. When you click on S, you will get this window, and here you have to write login ads. Login ads. So login ads, username is Pi and password is Raspberry. Now when you type password here, that password is not shown. So just login as Pi and type your password as Raspberry. Then this window will open and you will get command prompt with Pi at Raspberry Pi. So you had connected your laptop to Raspberry with command prompt, and you can use command instructions to operate Raspberry Pi. So this is your Raspberry Pi connection, wireless connection using Putty. So Putty is software used to connect your laptop or computer with Raspberry Pi in command mode. Now I want to use GUI mode, graphical user face interface, and for that next software is used. That software is VNC. Now VNC software is used to connect Raspberry Pi in GUI mode, but in Raspberry Pi VNC is disabled. So we have to enable VNC. In traditional method, it is simple. In traditional method, just go to Raspberry Pi configuration and enable the VNC, enable SSH like this. But now we don't have monitor, keyboard, so how to enable VNC? And for that, you have to use one command. So type VNC server in terminal mode. So VNC server will start and you will get this window. VNC server will start and you will get this window. At the bottom of this window you will get one IP address. So this is the IP address 192.168.-.1. So this is your new IP to connect with VNC. So note down this IP address 192.168.31.205.1 and then open VNC software. So getting connected with VNC, you have to connect your Pi with VNC from graphical view. Open VNC and put your IP address. It will ask for username and password. By default username is Pi and password is Raspberry. So when you click VNC, you will get this window. Here you have to write down your IP address. Write IP address and click enter or press enter. You will get this window. You want to connect server, so click on continue. So when you click on continue, you will get this window. It will ask username and password. So write username Pi and password Raspberry and click on remember password, so that next time it will not ask password. Click on OK. When you click on OK, you will be directly connected to Raspberry Pi with GUI mode. So on your laptop you will get Raspberry Pi screen. So I will click on OK. So when you click on OK, I am getting this window. So this is my computer and this is my Raspberry Pi window. So I will take one, I will connect the monitor and we will observe whether I am getting same or not. So the picture is like this. So this is your monitor, this is Raspberry Pi connected to monitor, and this is my laptop. I had not connected anything, I had not connected Raspberry Pi to my laptop, but still I am observing the same window of Raspberry Pi on my laptop. So I can use my keyboard, laptop keyboard, I can use my laptop touchpad or mouse to operate this Raspberry Pi remotely. So no need to connect wires. So this is wireless connection. So this is headless OS installation. So from next time onwards we are using headless OS for practicals. So today we are stopping here. So this is headless OS